you ever heard someone talking about you in a foreign language? I'm a nurse at a busy downtown hospital, and we had this new doctor who transferred from a hospital in Texas. Dr. Mendez seemed charming enough, always smiling, cracking jokes with the Latino staff, bringing coffee for everyone. But something about his vibe around me felt different, cold, distant. My first red flag came during rounds when I suggested a different pain management approach for one of our patients. Dr. Mendez just stared at me like I'd spoken gibberish, then turned to Rosa, our head nurse, and rattled off something in rapid Spanish. Rosa's face went uncomfortable, and she quickly changed the subject. What Dr. Mendez didn't know is that I grew up in East LA with my Mexican grandmother. Abuela made damn sure I was fluent in Spanish before I could even tie my shoes. She'd say, "Mija, you need to understand both worlds to survive in either one." So when I heard Dr. Mendez tell Rosa that the blonde one doesn't know what she's talking about and that I was probably only here because of affirmative action for white girls, I kept my mouth shut. But I started listening, really listening. Over the next few weeks, the pattern became clear. Every Spanish conversation he had near me was about me. He told the janitor I was lazy and entitled. He told the pharmacy tech that I couldn't handle real medicine and would probably kill someone eventually. He even told Dr. Navarro that he was building a case to have me transferred because I was bringing down the quality of care. The worst part? I'd been at the hospital for 3 years. My patient satisfaction scores were consistently in the top 10%. I'd never had a single incident report, but slowly I noticed other staff members treating me differently, questioning my decisions, double-checking my work. He was poisoning the well, and it was working. The breaking point came during a code blue in the ICU. Mrs. Wong, an elderly patient, was crashing, and I was running the resuscitation. Everything went perfectly. We got her back, stabilized her vitals, and she made a full recovery. But as we cleaned up, I overheard Dr. Mendez telling the attending in Spanish, "You see how the gringa almost killed that woman? She has no business in critical care. These American nurses think they know everything, but they're dangerous." That's when I decided I was done playing silent. The next morning during our weekly staff meeting, Dr. Mendez started his usual routine. He was presenting a case study, but kept slipping into Spanish commentary to Rosa and the other Latino staff, making little jokes, rolling his eyes when he talked about certain staff members and their questionable judgment. I let him go on for about 5 minutes, then I stood up. "Dr. Mendez," I said in perfect fluent Spanish, "would you like to repeat those concerns about my competence in English so everyone in this room can understand what you really think?" The conference room went dead silent. You could hear the air conditioning humming. Dr. Mendez's face went from tan to completely white in about 2 seconds. I continued, still in Spanish. "Or should I translate for everyone here how you've been describing my work for the past month? Because I'd be happy to share your thoughts about the stupid gringa who doesn't belong in medicine." Rosa was staring at the table. Dr. Navarro looked mortified. The attending physician was frantically taking notes. "You see, doctor," I switched back to English, "my grandmother always told me that if you're going to talk about someone, you better make sure they can't understand you. Apparently that's a lesson you never learned." I sat back down. Dr. Mendez mumbled something about being misunderstood, but everyone in that room knew exactly what had happened. Within 2 weeks, he'd requested a transfer to another hospital, claimed it was for personal reasons and a better opportunity. But word spreads fast in medical communities, especially when someone's been caught undermining colleagues. The day he left, Rosa came up to me and apologized. She said she'd felt uncomfortable with his comments but didn't know how to address it without causing drama. Dr. Navarro actually thanked me for speaking up, saying he'd noticed the tension but couldn't figure out the source. Now, 6 months later, our unit runs smoother than ever. And whenever we get new staff, I make sure to mention during orientation that we're a team that communicates openly and honestly, in whatever language feels most comfortable. My grandmother always said, "La verdad no teme la luz," the truth doesn't fear the light. Dr. Mendez learned that lesson the hard way. Never underestimate who's listening.